Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, in one of my Tibs talks, we're going to be talking about random acts of kindness. It is that time of year, right? We're in the holiday season. Here we are in mid-November, coming up on Thanksgiving, coming up on Christmas, and this topic always comes up around this time of year. It would be great if we could do it more often, as the graphic shows. Trying to do it once a month, once a week. Some people get all the way up to once a day. But you just don't always know exactly how much of an impact the tiniest little acts of kindness can have on people. And that's kind of why it's important to try and do these things more often. Um, the holiday season is great. There's all kinds of, planned, organized activities this time of year. We get things like Toys for Tots drives or giving trees or, Secret Santas or things like that, or food donations are always a big one too for Thanksgiving dinners, for Christmas dinners, donating canned goods and things to local food banks and food shelters. But there's a lot of different things that you can do for this, and like I said, even the smallest little things can really actually have a big impact on people. Some people they're going through a rough time out there. The economy's not great. COVID's been rough for a lot of people mentally, being stuck inside for the last year and a half. Um, and sometimes they just have things to go back to. They lost family members that they weren't able to, actually have funerals for. Um, you've lost jobs because of the way the economy's gone. Different industries and things have been hit kind of hard, throughout this pandemic and things. So sometimes even the tiniest little things, like I said, can really pick somebody up and lift their spirits and not just turn their day around, but it might actually turn the corner and turn their life around. I myself have experienced a few things like this. I tried to do as many things about this as I can, but I've also been the recipient of some things about this, and I'm always very curious to hear other people's stories. So if you want to leave a comment down below and just let me know about something creative or interesting that you did that somebody really appreciated, and just sort of how that went, or something that you received, something somebody went out of their way to sort of do for you that really made a difference or an impact on your life. We're going to look at a few examples here of things. There's a bunch of different organizations. This has kind of become um, more popular in the last few years. There's actually, foundations and organizations that are sort of dedicated to this now. Different charities and things like that, that this is their focus, is promoting this, and whether they're going to schools or corporate buildings and talking to people about the little things that they can do. It's good to just keep getting that message out there, right? Excuse me. But we'll start with the little things. It doesn't always have to be monetary, right? So there's a number of little things that we can do, and one of these organizations did put together a handful of lists. So let's pull this over here. This is the Berkeley Institute of Well-Being. So what do we got? Random acts of kindness lists, handwritten notes. Let someone cut in front of you in line. Takes absolutely nothing to do, right? You're standing in line in the grocery store or whatever, you've got 15, 20 items in your cart. Person behind you's got 3 or 4 items that they're just sort of holding, just sort of waiting their turn. Let them go in front of you. Just do something nice for somebody, right? Takes an extra couple minutes out of your day, but does something nice for them, and it might just sort of refill their cup a little bit, right? Lots of stuff here you can do for your neighbors, especially this time of year. If you're in an area that has lots of trees, there might be some leaves to rake. As we get into the colder months here, we get some snow, so there's different things about scraping somebody else's car or shoveling snow off a sidewalk, that kind of stuff. Again, doesn't cost you anything other than a little bit of time, and it really just might make a difference for somebody out there. Carry some groceries, donating unused items to charities. A lot of big stuff like that this time of year. Different organizations, Salvation Army, and collecting coats for the winter, or different veterans organizations always like to do blankets and coats drives this time of year. So this is always a good one here. If you have other stuff lying around the house you just don't use, somebody else out there might be able to use it as well. Bringing snacks to a local fire station. First responders, right? These are people who put their lives on the line to try and make our lives safe. Firemen, paramedics, EMTs, police officers, nurses, doctors, emergency room, urgent care center workers, that kind of stuff. Show these people a little bit of love, right? Send them a pizza. Send them, a edible arrangement or something. Bake up a tray of brownies and drop them off. They'll appreciate it, right? So, helping out the homeless, sure. Making dinner for group friends. Bringing in their trash cans for the neighbor, right? Buy a gift card to give to a stranger. Now, this is always an interesting one. You can literally physically buy it, or if you don't feel comfortable with that or you're afraid of the interaction with that, one of the fun things to do, which I've done myself a couple of times, when you're buying your whatever, you go to your favorite breakfast spot, whatever franchise that might be, or your local place, buy a gift card from them, $25, $50, whatever. Tell the cashier to hang on to it. And then when somebody comes in, the next people, however many people in line behind you, just swipe the gift card to pay for their meals, as many as you can until the gift card balance is gone. It's a nice way to do a little something extra for everybody else. Maybe they'll help pay it forward as well. Sometimes you get a little bit of a chain going when you do stuff like that. You can do it just smallly, pay for the person in line behind you at the drive-thru is another big one, very popular one. And sometimes you get these chains going. And the cashiers play along with it too. Like, let's see how long we can get this going. Like, you're the seventh person this morning. Do you want to pay it forward and pay for the food behind you for the next person? Their total would be this. Yours was $7, $8, and theirs might be less, might be more. But usually, unless you're buying food for the whole office, like, it's not getting too carried away there. But there's another one there for you. Buy food for your office. Pick up a box of munchkins or donuts or something, or hot chocolate or something. Bring it in for your coworkers, and just be like, hey, hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's not a great day, or Monday. It's not a great day, right? We're starting off a work week. Well, maybe we can pick this work week up a little bit, get it off to a better start. So. This is one you gotta be careful of, putting coins in someone's parking meter that's about to run out. Some cities actually do frown upon that. It's considered, if that's not your car, sometimes you can get in trouble for that one. So just be mindful of what's going on in your area. Give an extra big tip when eating out. This is always a fun one. Servers do not make a lot of money inherently, unless you're working in some high, fine dining, high class establishment where you've got these high check averages and you can expect to make a lot of money. For the most part, servers in America get paid $2.13 an hour plus tips. And depending on where you're working and what, kind of food your establishment sells, tipping is typically anywhere. I've seen, some people still think it's 10%. Some people go 15% for the average. Some people go 20% for the average. Different people, different areas, different cultures have different opinions about what to tip when eating out. Different generations also tip differently, I've noticed in my experience. I was a server for about 3 years when I was younger. And I can say it's not an easy job, and you don't always make a lot of money doing it. And it can be very inconsistent sometimes. So go a little out of the way. Go a little over the top, right? Your check was $35, $40 for you and your significant other. You went out somewhere, just had a quick little meal, maybe, we'll say 50, right? What would be 20% of that? $10. $10 tip. Well, you know what? Double it. Leave 20. Give that person a little extra boost. Leave them a little note on the check. Hey, great job. Thanks for, all the smiles or whatever. And leave them an extra, double up the tip. Or just leave them an extra, throw an extra $20 on top of what you were going to leave. You can go as high as just doubling the check, right? The check was $50. Leave them a $50 tip. Something like that can actually go a very long way in somebody's life. Tell you a quick story about myself. The one time that definitely changed my life. Working late one night, restaurant's kind of dead. We're starting to close up. We're open till 10. It's about 9:30 at night. There's nobody there. So we start going, all right, you know what? Let's start breaking down the kitchen, start wiping down all the tables. We'll go lock the door in a couple minutes and, get out of here a few minutes early tonight because, there's 0 people in the restaurant. 9:40, one car pulls in the parking lot. Just getting ready to lock the door. Girl gets out. She comes out of the passenger side. She comes running in. And she's like, hey, you guys are still open, right? And we're like, sign says you're open until 10. I was like, well, we were getting ready to close up because there's nobody else here, It's like, oh well, I swear, there's another car with coming with me. They're right behind us. There'll be four of us. We'll be quick. I promise. We won't even get dessert. We just want to get some dinner real quick. And it's like we were all looking forward to going home early, but you know what? We are open. Okay, come on in. You know, we'll let them on in. And the girl says, "Oh, thank you so much. Don't worry about it. Like we're great tippers. Don't worry about it." And immediately you're thinking, "Okay, great. What am I going to get? An extra 10, 20 bucks out of it?" But hey, when you're making $2.13 an hour, 20 extra bucks, can go a little bit of a long, a little ways there. So they come in, they eat real quick. The kitchen guys aren't happy because obviously they got to stop cleaning and they got to, they had already wiped down the grill and everything. Now they got to turn it back on and get that going again. Cook up some steaks for these people. And the bartender has to stay because they order alcoholic beverages, so they got to mix them up and get them going. And we end up getting out of there, almost closer to 11 now after everything's done, and they finished up eating. Their check was about 140 bucks for the four of them between their steaks and their alcoholic beverages. They left $400 in cash. It's a $250 tip, give or take, that I got that night for going a little bit out of the way, staying the extra mile, staying open for them, doing something nice for them that, you know, should we have had to do? Yes, we're still open, but you also reserve the right to close early, right? And the manager was like, let's just close things up. But we made the call, decided to stay open. That tip of that extra 250 bucks changed my life in the way of you're normally, in that type of industry, you're working to get to the next bill. You're collecting money, you're saving it, you're going rent's due on Friday. I have, it's $1,000. I've got 750 right now, so I need to make 250 this week. I need to do X, Y, and Z. I need to, hustle a little bit more. I need to pick it up. I need to turn on the charm a little bit. Big smiles. Oh my God, so great to see you guys. Welcome on in again. Welcome back. Trying to get that go from 15% to 20%, right? Could use that little extra. This changed that mentality for me. This changed my thinking and where my life was at that point, because now I'm not rent's due on Friday. I need to hustle extra harder, maybe pick up an extra shift, see if anybody wants to call out and switch or take an extra day to make sure I get there. Now I'm ahead. Now this is already taken care of and this is already paid. I don't have that pressure on. I don't have that emotional, drain on of worrying about, am I going to make it? Am I going to have to talk to my landlord and be like, hey, just give me an extra day or two and I'll get it to you. It was a slow week or whatever. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. Now I'm completely changed my mindset. Now I'm working. I've already paid the bill, and now I'm just working towards the next set, and I'm working ahead. And very much appreciative of that. I did pay it forward a little bit. Took the line cook, the bartender that had to stay, the hostess, or the other one of the other people who had to stay. The four of us did go out after work. I did buy the first round of drinks for them because they had to stay too, and it wasn't right that I got all of the money for doing this when they had a part in it. So it can definitely make a big difference to people, and this is something my wife and I do try and do more often than not. Another thing on here is picking up the check for another table. Again, personal experience. We did this just on my birthday a couple weeks ago. We were out to eat. Our check was, came to. We saw there was a table sitting over in the corner. It was three elderly women, and we decided to just do something nice for them. And it was just like, when the waitress came over, it was like, in addition to, here's your check, is there anything else I can get for you? It's like, yes, you can get me the check for that table over there because I would like to buy them their breakfast. And, not only are they very much appreciative of it, I'm sure, and you can do it anonymously, right? You don't have to tell them. The waitress will come over later and just be like, your check's been taken care of, so if there's anything else you guys need, just let me know. That's going to have a huge impact on them, of course, but it also had an impact on the server because it sort of gave them a little extra faith in humanity, right? And we can all use that every once in a while. So little things like that to keep in mind. We've got other little things here like being on time. free, doesn't cost anything. Holding the door open for a coworker, giving them a handwritten note, things around the office, right? This one's always careful with those. We love the jokey jokes, but there's a fine line sometimes that you might cross a little bit. Mentoring someone is great, but also this one, someone who helped you grow. Thank people for the time and effort they've invested in you, mentoring you. Then you pay it forward to somebody else. But all kinds of little stuff that you can do. Making cookies for the workplace, inviting somebody out to lunch, bringing some snacks, holding the door, holding the elevator for coworkers, or even people you're sharing a building with, uh, you know, can certainly turn things around and make someone's day a little brighter. In your relationship, little different things you can do here, of course. Uh, Doing little things, helping out, doing some of their chores or responsibilities around the house to give them a little bit of a break. Obviously, we would love to do this one, right? Find a way to help your partner reach their dreams. That's kind of the goal of every relationship, isn't it? So, trying to do stuff like that, but um, there's all kinds of little gifts, or getting a couples massage for the two of you. Two of you go spend a fun activity together, right? Do something nice for each other. Maybe you take care of the kids or whatever, so they can go relax and do something, or have a girls' night out or a guys' night out or whatever, and not have to worry about what's going on at home. Things you can do for your kids, and some other inspirational quotes. But there's all kinds of these organizations and stuff out there, and it's always sort of nice to just look around and see what some people are doing, get some ideas. And like I said, sometimes it's, you just start small. You just do one or two little things, like pay for the person behind you, leave a gift card, hold the door open, shovel some snow, rake some leaves, and then just kind of see where things go from there. Maybe it starts as something you do like once a month. All right, here's my random act of kindness for the month. And then maybe you pick it up a little bit, and maybe it becomes something you try and do once a week for everybody. And eventually, hopefully, we all get to the point where we're starting to do things once a day without even thinking about it. You just kind of do it. It just becomes part of the new normal for you. Your new daily routine is, what little thing can I find to do that's nice for somebody else? I think you'll find that the appreciation and the joy you get out of it will be pretty fulfilling as well. Not to mention, you never know exactly how that might impact your day. Final story I'll share with you guys. In a McDonald's one day, I'm at the drive-thru. I order my food, starting to pull up a little bit. The line's kind of long. I hear the woman behind me. She rolls down her window. She's getting ready to order her food. Can hear the screaming, crying child in the back seat. Kid's losing his mind. Absolutely, like glass-shattering decibels of kid crying, and the woman's clearly very distressed and kind of at her wit's end here. You can see that overwhelmed look on her face as she's trying just to order a Happy Meal. She's not even getting food for herself at this point. She just wants a Happy Meal for the kid to try and get that kid quiet. And I don't know if it's her kid. I don't know if she's babysitting for somebody else. But either way, clearly overwhelmed, not having a good day. Just needs, a minute of peace and quiet. And trying to explain to the kid after she ordered the Happy Meal that, like, it's coming. I just have to, just 5 more minutes. We get through these next couple of cars to get to this window. I promise, just it'll be right here. Kid's screaming still, hollering, losing his mind, her mind. Can't tell. I get to the drive-through window. I pay for my food, and I pay for her behind her. It's like, clearly having a bad day. It's a $5 Happy Meal. Maybe this will turn things around, right? Pay for the food. I pull up, waiting to get my food now. There's one more car in front of me. They get their food. She gets to the window now. She goes to pay, finds out it's been taken care of by me. You would have thought I gave that woman like the Hope Diamond or something like that, because she was just almost bursting into tears. That's how, just because of just what somebody had done here and had sort of, given that kindness to her. She's waving, she's beeping her horn, she's flashing her lights. She's just like, oh my God. Like, I can see her mouthing at the window, oh my God, thank you so much, waving out the window to me. I'm like, yeah, you're welcome, okay, we're good. get my food. I start to leave. She pulls up. She gets her food. She's following me down the street still. She's still beeping and waving at me and waving out the window. And as I get to make my turn at a light, she pulls up beside me and she just oh my God, thank you so much. You have no idea what this means and how bad of a day I was having. And I was just like, you're welcome. And I hope your day gets better. And then I made my turn and she went the other way. That was it. Now, I don't know what kind of an impact that had. If we work in some weird mirror universe, right? Alternate timeline, you know, maybe maybe that's the thing that made her day better, and it ripple effects throughout everything else that happens. Maybe that was the day she was going to go home and shake that baby, right? Why won't you stop crying? Please don't do that. Please don't shake your kids. We certainly hope that doesn't ever happen, and nobody ever gets to that point. But when you see these parents who are just so overwhelmed, sometimes you never know. You never know what's going to happen, and that child might be neglected. That child might get abused. You never know what might happen. So maybe this one little thing changed two lives that day, or a whole lot more if you start thinking about everybody else in that family too. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Be kind to yourself and each other. But that's the important one too. Don't forget to take a little time for yourself every once in a while too. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Give yourself a break. Life is hard. Everybody's got a lot of responsibilities out there, and you got to make sure to love yourself every once in a while too. So, thank you all very much for watching. Again, like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Something that you've done for somebody else that you've made a difference in their day. Kind of, what kind of feedback they gave you on it. What kind of impact it had. Or again, sharing a story about something somebody did for you that was really nice, that really made a difference and an impact in your day, your week, your life in general. Always love to hear these kinds of stories, and thanks for watching.